Peace. What's the science universal family? On another glorious day of the science of living mathematics. And what is today's mathematics? Knowledge cipher. All being born to knowledge. That's the 10th day of the month. And what is your 10th letter in the alphabet? J. And what is J in the supreme alphabet? Justice. And let's break this down. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is information. It is the root. Awareness. To know the ledge. And cipher is any person, place, or thing that is complete. See, and the beauty of having knowledge of self is that there's multiple ways to see one thing. It's multifaceted. Knowledge, the cipher, the knowledge of the cipher. You understand? There's multiple ways to look at this. Based on your mood, based on things that's happening around you or to you at the moment. Alright, so what is the knowledge of the cipher? Alright, because the cipher is that complete system already. And how I look at that is getting to know what you're going to get yourself into first. You know? Whether it's a new home in a new neighborhood, a new job, a new setting, whatever that is. You know, knowledge in the cipher is making sure, like I said, that you know what you're going to get into. This is important because not knowing and just going in there without thinking anything through can have dire effects, dire consequences. And that consequence is the penalty as the justice, right, for not doing the proper knowledge. Right? Another way to look at it is, what is the foundation, what is the source of this cipher that you're in? And it's always going to be proper knowledge, proper information that you should be going based off of. You know what I mean? Because knowledge, again, is to look, listen, observe, and what? Respect, which is the most important. So if you go into this new system, this new sphere, with these tools at your disposal, your success rate will be that much greater, especially when you have the respect, you know, not taking things for granted or thinking that things are lesser than you. This is imperative that we look at things this way. You know, don't always think yourself above things and over or underestimate things. You know what I mean? Because again, when dealing in the physical realm, all things are equal. Right? So when you look into something and you do your research, which is outstanding for me because, or astonishing, I should say, because at my job, when new hires come in and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're surprised at the job or they're surprised at the hours. It's like, you guys don't do your research before you come into work. Like, before you apply for the job, like, you don't know what it entails. Like, that's crazy to me. You know, I don't know if it has something to do with a certain level of maturity or what, but it's just difficult for me when the job is presented, they fill out all the paperwork and everything else, and all of a sudden they get hit with the job, and it's like, oh, they get so surprised. I don't get that. All right, so always make sure that you are fully aware of the cipher, fully aware of the things that are around you. You know what I mean? Be aware of the cipher that you're in. Pay attention to the things that you're in. And this is something that you can pass on to your kids when they're growing and they think that everything is just, unicorns and rainbows. Not fully aware of how things really are out there, and just having that, let's say, one eye open when they're amongst their friends, when they go into the park or the playground or something and you're there with them. You yourself obviously have to be aware of the cipher. You know what I mean? Not just like, all right, you guys go play over there. I'm gonna be right here on my phone or whatever. No, be that parent that you are involved in their playtime, not for you to lose yourself in your own cipher. All right, because everything comes back down to knowledge, right? Because knowledge cipher, all being born is knowledge. All right, because 1 + 0 = 1. So this has to do fundamentally with your foundation, the things that what makes you per se, your experiences and everything else, will determine how you do the knowledge to these different spheres, ciphers, and it's important that we continue to always do better. Always find different ways to do the knowledge, to be aware from different angles, because you might not get the best point of view. It might be line of sight might be blocked, so coming from a different angle, you might get a better view. You know what I mean? And just looking at it from all these different perspectives, as I should say, right? Because you can look at something, let's say, using psychology, and you might get one perspective. Then you're looking at it with chemistry, you might get another one, biology, sociology, all these different ologies per se you can apply. That's just an example. So how would you apply that? How would you apply that? Or how you've been applying it? Just let me know down in the comments, because it's important. We have to, one, be aware of self, and then be aware of the whole picture to the best of our ability, of course. Being able to look at knowledge as a whole cipher within itself, because each degree is a cipher within itself, right? They're different realms respectively, and how knowledge functions, or how you function within the realm of knowledge. Because knowledge requires you to gather information. It puts you to pay attention, to stop talking, like I had said before on the first, and listen, look, listen, observe, and respect, and do it properly so you can reach its fullest completion of itself, of having the proper knowledge, not just half listening or being constantly distracted by other things, and you're constantly, I gotta write down this, so let me just put a video and walk away. You're not really doing the proper knowledge per se. So again, relaying that to justice. Remember, you are the person that holds the scales. And based on your actions is what you get, positive and negative, penalty or reward. That's all on you. And can't blame nobody else. And you can't give credit to nobody else but to yourself. You know what I mean? Because, again, you are the sole controller. You, with knowledge, right, with awareness, you are aware of yourself. You are aware of the things that you're capable of doing and what not, and what you're not capable of doing. Your habits, what things you need to improve on, and what things you can, let's say, put as secondary, not as your main priority, right? Because some things have higher priority than others. And this is where that penalty of reward comes in, because that feeling of when you accomplish something, right? Like I'm saying, the small goals, it's a reward within itself, right? But when you procrastinate and you make excuses, not in somebody else's eyes, get that out of the way, where somebody, well, you're taking too long because of this and you're never gonna get it. You can take that, to help you figure out where you're at, but that's not ultimately what it is, because you might have different values, different morals, different goals at the end of the day. So you have to focus on self, the knowledge of self, the knowledge of your own cipher, of things that it's around you. And yes, you can say your immediate family is within your cipher, but you yourself are in a separate cipher, right? So look at it as different spheres. You are the center point, and then you have your immediate family, and then those that you have close to you, and then so on and so forth. You have extended family, extended friends that you haven't spoken to, but you guys are always cool. You know what I mean? And then this circle just keeps growing. And each one is more important than the other the closer it gets to you. But you are always in the center. Regardless of how you want to look at it, that you say your kids are more important to you than you are to yourself. Because then that's not mathematics. Because if you only focus on taking care of your kids and you don't take care of yourself, once you burn out and you're not capable of taking care of them, who's going to do that? Alright, so this is why self-care is very important, because you as a foundation, you have to make sure that you are firm, that you are solid. So that way you can be, let's say, a crutch to your kids. So that way they can have something solid to stand on, something firm, right? Where your word is your bond. And they can trust you with every fiber of their being. And you're not there just manipulating things for your own self. That's where the penalty will come in. Might not be now, might not be later, it might be a few years from now when they get old and they come to that realization themselves. So, knowledge cipher. All being born to knowledge. How you knowledge the cipher is based on the knowledge that you already have. You get what I'm saying? That's as simple as it gets. So, let me know how y'all see it, because I just shared how I see today's mathematics. So leave a comment, any questions, anything that you guys would like to share. Gladly appreciate it. So subscribe and hit that like button. All right, so I want you guys to enjoy the rest of this glorious day. And always keep in mind the science of living mathematics, right? Peace.